All right, guys, we are here at the Princess Yachts display at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. They have not one, not two, but 3 different 80 models, and we are going to take you through the differences. We are standing in front of the X80. There is also a Y80, and there is an S80. So we're going to jump on board and kind of show you guys the differences between the 3 lines. And for all intents and purposes, just as we go, F is going to be most similar to Y. So just so you guys are aware. Now let's kick off our shoes and jump on board the X. So as we step onto the cockpit, you start to notice the changes. Here on the X, it's a little bit similar to the Y. On the Y, you'll notice there is a glass cockpit facing aft. On this, it's a little bit more structured. You see a little bit more GRP. This does have the Allure Pack. Throughout the Princess line, you can get the Allure Pack to kind of enhance the color scheme on board the Princess Yachts line, and that is this silver gray accent that you see there. Crew quarter. All 3 boats do have crew quarters. This crew quarter is set up for 3 crew members. You have an over and under bunk here, and then captain's quarters, a singular berth there. Notice the bonding displays throughout the Princess line. These are pretty cool. You can control your lights, your engines. We can determine how much fuel we have in the system, sea ready status. We can watch all the security cameras on board. So very cool to have the control ability right here in the crew quarter. If somebody is full-time crewing this boat, they can set up shop down here and not ever have to go inside unless it's time to host you. So in the crew quarters with Princess, you'll notice they're all very well equipped. This has a 2 cooktop electric burner, microwave, sink. We have a head separate there. Nice little bar stool action here, a little place to eat. And we also have windows in here. It's little things like windows that are important for a crew. Otherwise it gets a little cramped in here and it feels a little cave-like. But Princess does a fantastic job of including the windows. Man, V12 2000s, the S model that we will jump into, has the ability to have V12 2200s, so 2200s. But for all intents and purposes, we will call them all about the 2000s, which is the standard. With these V12 2000s, you're able to cruise this boat right around 24 to 26 knots. The top end is low 30s, 31 to 32, 33 range for the top end, and all of that is calculated with about 75% fuel per the Princess team in Plymouth, England. What do you guys think? We have plenty of headroom. Everything looks nice and clean because it is a brand new boat, but very easy to work on down here. We have our split unit chiller systems from Dometic. We have our hydraulic pack there. On all 3 of these 80s, it is worth noting we have fin stabilizers. So the Sleipner fin stabilizers, those can be 0-speed stabilization as well. As soon as we step in the cockpit, you notice another set of changes here. Each layout in terms of seating and the seatability here and hostability in the cockpit is a little bit different between the X, the Y, and the S. And you'll notice that. But let's step inside and you can really see the differences. All of these boats, you slide that massive, very heavy salon door there and really open up the connection between the cockpit and this gorgeous, gorgeous salon. All the materials that you'll see, I know it's hard to touch and feel in a video, but truly top of the line, just another level on the Princess line. We have a pop-up TV that pops up there. We have seating here, great to have just a cocktail and hang out, especially when you're stuck inside the boat if it's a little less than desirable weather. The cool part about an X, in my opinion, is how charterable this is. If you have an owner-operator, which isn't uncommon in an 80-foot boat, but more often than not you're going to have a crew on this, you can make this an entirely closed-off galley. You push a button and this thing just slides up, creates that separation, and allows this to be more of a private galley if you were to have a chef on board or something of the sort. Just like that, I'm gonna disappear. Call me Houdini. Back to your regularly scheduled program, a very nice stand-up refrigerator. Notice that throughout we have gone to Sub-Zero, so very high-end appliances, including the refrigerator. We have Sub-Zero drawers here as well. Wolf induction cooktop here, Wolf convection oven, so very top of the line. And again, the fit and finish, just how solid everything is, even the cabinets, just very solid, very well done. So we do have access to our little dinette area forward. One of my favorite parts about the X is that dinette, but give me 1 second. On all 3 of these 80 models, Princess has given us everything we could ever hope for and more, including a day head. Just forward of that day head is the dinette area I was talking about. So check this out, guys. Being an X, you do have a singular helm, and that is up in the enclosed flybridge on the X line. You do have an aft docking station, and we'll touch on that later. But this is the benefit. Look at this area to hang out, guys. Picture yourself hosting evening dinner here, maybe a business meeting up here. Very, very well done, Princess. And the views and the sight lines. Obviously, this is closed, but that is a very big window. Up opposite of me, you have a door which allows you access up to the bow. Looks like they're drying off the morning dew, so we won't go up there just quite yet, but we will check out the living accommodations. Just a couple of steps down from our lovely dinette, we get access to our living quarters. So these boats are 4 staterooms, 5 heads. And remember, we do have that day head upstairs. But the cool part about that is that means everybody's stateroom has an ensuite. Here, before we step into the owner's suite, we have a washer, a dryer, and behind door number 3, storage. And me being Houdini again. Okay, so here, full beam owner's suite. Massive windows on either side allow that natural light to come in. When you're underway, the videos and pictures you can get from these windows because you're so close to the waterline, unbelievable. Truly, truly unbelievable. We have a nice little closet here, hanging locker, drawers. Again, all very nice in this satin finish. Satin walnut is the wood package on this boat. Inlaid TV, again, attention to detail, distinction in detail, as Princess puts it. It's just flush mounted TVs. You're not bumping into it. It's the little things that really elevate your ownership experience. And then check out this galley. It's gonna look like I'm disappearing again, doing another Houdini. Look, the shower's all the way over there, a head way over there, and a heated towel rack, because why not? Again, distinction in detail. Look at this stone countertop here in your head. Look how curved that is. Think about the little things, like once you do own this boat, having it clean. Maybe that's not your responsibility, but look at how easy it is to wipe this down with. No hard ridges anywhere. Just, again, distinction in detail. Leaving no stone unturned. Open some of the hatches for you and some of the drawers, but just look at the extra space that Princess is able to utilize because they do so much in-house. As we work our way forward here, a lot of natural curves and no sharp edges that you're bumping into, and again, we're very wide walkways throughout. And as the saying goes, if they're complaining about this, get them out of here. VIP full beam up here. Nice, very standalone island berth. Behind this door is your ensuite head. Hanging locker, and again, an inlaid TV. These 2 bunks here will slide together and become another full bed. You could very easily go away with 4 couples and bring your crew along without sacrificing anything. Ensuite is right there. Like I said, every stateroom has its own. Stateroom number 4. Nobody would be too disappointed to hang out in this for an extended weekend. We do have ensuite. You also have a nice little vanity in each stateroom. Let's head on up. What we're gonna show you is what separates an X from both an S and a Y. Here it is. My favorite part about an X is the internal staircase to get you to this beautiful enclosed flybridge. And look at this. So, we do have the sliding pocket doors here. Pull those together. Captain can have his own area, can be undisturbed, and then this is just an extension of your flybridge. Pop-up TV up here, We are air conditioned, notice that. That's pretty cool to be up at this height and be completely air conditioned and completely enclosed. We do have skylights here as well, so again, the idea is although you are enclosed, you feel very connected to nature and to the boating world around you. Side access door. We have kind of two bow lounges on this boat. Given the shape, you have the ability to have two bow lounges, one on this level and then one down on the main salon level, which you guys saw a moment ago. So not only are we enclosed, it seems like we're a little bit more, I would use the word encapsulated maybe, up here in this helm area. We have a perfect visualization to our bow pulpit there. We can see pretty darn good all the way around us. But then we do have the boating displays, like I said, with cameras. We have right now in the engine room. Let's go to cockpit. We can see the cockpit there and watch as we are docking. Again, we do have an aft docking station, so we could do that instead. But look at the setup on this screen. 1, 2, 3 massive garments and 2 boating displays. So run your engine data through here, your camera, and then everything else you could need. I'm gonna say it again, distinction in detail. Look at what they did with the compass. They kind of tucked that up in the out of the way, so it's never in your sight lines. Very well done. As we shimmy our way over here, naturally you would probably walk that way, but it is worth noting that your display for your engine batteries and your house batteries are all right here. Domestic is your house on Princess, and then engine start batteries. We can tell that our shore cord is connected. This is not locked, but actually we'll show you the locking method. Look at that. It does it all by itself. And then when you're ready to go out, push and hold the green, and out we go. So again, keep in mind, one of 2 bow areas. However, before we get to the bow area, look at this, guys. So we have a side docking station just outside of our helm area there, our main helm area. And this is just on a hinge, so this will conveniently tuck away, not in the way of any of your controls, or a lot of times we see it sacrificing part of your summer galley. This not whatsoever. So we have our engine controls and then our bow and stern thruster. Pretty darn good sight lines to see stern, and fantastic sight lines to see the whole bow. So very nice. Good job, Princess. Tons of storage up here on the bow. We can put all of our bow cushions from up here on this level in there with no problem. We also currently have the sun dodger in there, which is nice. Wrap this glass and then you keep the heat out. Cup holders are, as you know, very important, but we also have a phone charger right there. So again, it's the little things. Very, very well done. I like how tall all of these are. You guys can't see it, but you're actually leaning on one right now as you're getting filmed, or as I'm getting filmed, I should say. So again, very safe, and what an awesome place to hang out. I mean, feel like the king of the world. So again, with the nice heavy duty sliding doors here, if I be quiet, we'll get you some ASMR. Now, look at how wide open this just became. And you really can extend this from the aft deck of the flybridge all the way throughout here. And again, we do have the internal staircase, which is awesome if you want to leave this closed, but we have an aft staircase to get up here to the aft deck on this flybridge. What an awesome place to entertain here on this aft deck. We have a pop-up TV. Not only will that TV pop up, but then you can also adjust the angle, and everybody has an awesome visualization of that. Summer wet bar up here. We have a sink, we have a cooktop, ice maker, trash can, storage. And then look at all of the area to hang out here. You could certainly host an awesome evening dinner up here. If you are kind of hanging out at anchor, let's say, or maybe even just hanging out at the dock, above me is going to be an aft awning. Push a button, that's going to come out. There are support poles. You drop those in, and then you have the ability to idle around with that out. So why not hang out up here? All right, here we are on the port side of the boat. If you remember, we were on the starboard side of the boat on the flybridge. So If we're doing a T-head docking on the starboard side, then we're covered on the flybridge. If we're going to a T-head on the port side, we're covered with our beautiful aft docking station. Obviously, being called an aft docking station, you're going to use this if you're starting into slip or a mooring. So notice how wide everything is. I love the heavy duty, like I can yank on that thing. Heavy duty metalwork all the way throughout. Even just the bulwark around the cleats, how nice that stainless is. Again, top of the line. Look at how tall these windows are, guys. I mean, as you know, I'm no short guy, and these windows are as tall as me. Obviously, they're up just a little bit on some GRP. However, windows all the way throughout. Just look at the window lines throughout the Princess. No matter if you're looking at the S, the Y, or the X, it's just very well done. Bow lounge area number 2. You may be asking how? That is because of the extended bow area on the flybridge on the X line. Notice that is going to be different on the Y and S. So if those two areas are calling out to you, maybe this X80 is the boat for you compared to the S or the Y. Again, awesome lounge area up here. Hang out, relax, have a cocktail, get some sun. Or if you don't want some sun, yeah, go hang out inside in your nice air-conditioned flybridge. All right, guys, this is the X80. Now let's jump over to the Y, and hopefully you guys have picked up a thing or two about what makes the X stand out compared to the Y and the S. The question is, why or why not? New technology to it, such as this glass endless cockpit area here, the facing each other seats in the cockpit, big attraction to the Y. But overall, the Y is going to be probably your most traditional layout, what you're used to seeing, if any, from the Princess line. So, crew quarter, just like on the X80, we have access to the engine room. And this is going to be a very, very similar layout to the crew quarter on the X. We have the same electric 2-burner cooktop there. We have our boning display, garment display, bar, little dinette area here. I'm trying to block out the little bit of storage we're using this stateroom as, but again, it's the over and under bunk with the captain separate there. And then we have our head, just 4 of that. Very much the same here in the Y compared to the X. V12, 2000s, pretty similar speeds. You may gain a knot or 2 in terms of cruise, and top end, you might get 34 knots out of this one, but the S is actually going to be the fastest, and we'll get to that. Tons of storage on both the X and the Y here, and you'll see why the difference is on the S when we get there. But great little storage spot there on the back of the Y. So as I said, the Y is a little bit different in the sense that your seats are actually facing each other. We have the ability to slide this table and make this just kind of a coffee table or a great spot to throw your drinks, and then open it up. And what an awesome place to serve a meal, especially as the sun is setting there. Top tier right here, guys, top tier. So here, again, like the X, we have a massive salon and the stackable salon doors, so you can connect the salon with the cockpit area there. But notice, as soon as we walk in, completely different boat here on the top sides. Down below is going to look very similar, but what a dramatic change, layout and scenery and feel on board this Y. And although I did mention this is going to feel a little bit more traditional, I would say, look at this. This is anything but traditional. Look at the woodwork here. Stunning. It's breathtaking, this woodwork, and the curves to it. Very, very, very well done. Push a button and this table will slide out, so even our hefty friends can fit on the back side of this table. But again, if you don't want to serve in the cockpit, serve right here across from your galley. And what an astounding galley this boat is equipped with. Again, we're switching to the Sub-Zero, or have switched to the Sub-Zero refrigerators. We have a Sub-Zero there, and then 2 freezer drawers beneath. Wine cooler, storage in abundance. Mealy cooktop on this one, and Mealy convection microwave where that one had wolf. So a little bit different. Now to something that's similar, yet oh so different. The day head. Remember, all three of these boats have day heads. All three of these boats have day heads in completely separate locations. Personally, I think I'm probably either a fan of the Y or the S day head, only because of this. The day head on the Y acts as a separation from the helm and kind of acts as your wall, so this is a little bit more private if you did want to have a captain. We do have sideboarding access in the galley, but then we also have the sideboarding access right here for the captain. Very nice, very well thought out, and not leaving anybody to sacrifice. So on the X, we had 2 boning displays and 3 garments. So on the Y, we have 3 garments and 1 boning display. A little bit of a difference. You may notice it, you may not. I mentioned the Sleipner fin stabilizers. Here's a good shot so you guys can see how these work. If you were to unlock them, they would start to move and keep us in position, but we're not worried about that. We're nice and tied up at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. This is your main distribution panel. As I said on the X, that was conveniently located behind the helm seat right by that door. Here, it's forward. Personal preference, I guess. Notice, on all of these boats, you have a little nook for a co-captain. You do have a co-captain seat, so we can't really call this for the co-captain, but a nice little navigation area is how I would coin this area. Very easy to look over. However, tremendous storage. I could play hide and seek in here, no kidding. I could actually get all the way down and in there. But great space for blankets or pillows or throws, whatever you need. To get out of the way. It's a very hidden storage compartment, and again, it goes into the distinction and detail aspect and not leaving any stone unturned and not leaving any wasted space. Pretty awesome. So this boat, little different, but overall it's going to have the same kind of feel to it, if you will. Again, washer and dryer, split units right here in front of the owner's suite. Very different is this little vanity area, completely separate than the X, but to each is their own. So as we step into the owner's suite here on the Y80, again, we do have the hanging locker closet area here, and then across is our head. I'll show you that. But I did mention it in the X, so we'll show it again here. Vanities throughout. Great little spot to put jewelry or makeup, or take my watch off and throw it in there. It is felt lined, so it's not gonna scratch. We have the same drawer system here. So very similar to the X. I'm going to disappear like Houdini again. We have the same layout here where the head is all the way to port, and the same sink layout here in this owner's suite head, and same rainfall shower head with the wand there in the shower. So again, we have 4 staterooms, 5 heads here. Your owner's suite is aft, your primary guest is forward, secondary VIP is there, and then all the way over, this can be an additional stateroom. However, not today. Look at this, guys. We have a whole surprise room for you here. This is set up to be an office with Pullman bunks. So, although it doesn't look like a stateroom right now and looks more like an office, which we certainly can do, this has a Pullman bunk and does not sacrifice somebody being able to sleep in here. And ensuite access, so if you do have to work and get up and hit the head, it's right there, nice and easy. Again, bow if your primary guests are complaining, get them out of here. Full beam, we have the ensuite right there behind the door, and then hanging locker on either side, vanity aft. I haven't mentioned it in the Y yet, I did mention it in the X. All of your TVs are flush mounted, so it's the little things in life, like not bumping into your nice flush mounted TV. I'm not a liar, every stateroom has an ensuite right here. And you can't see it from this angle, but you do have a shower on the other side. So never have to sacrifice, nor do your guests feel as though they're secondhand. The molded staircase, tremendous. Never have to feel like you're holding on to a ladder or climbing up or anything like that. No sacrifices here on the Y80. Note that we did come up from the cockpit. There is no internal staircase on this. However, look at the size of this flybridge. You really can't take it all in unless you guys are standing here and you're looking all the way forward. Look in all the area here. We do have separate drop-down life rafts, emergency life rafts. Again, goes into the ownership experience, and Princess really does take the feedback that we give them as dealers and you give them as owners to improve. So instead of having your life rafts just kind of out somewhere, they've given them a nice little spot. The glass looking aft is probably my favorite trend in all of the last 5 years. It really keeps you connected from the outside world, and whether you're laying back here, maybe doing some yoga with all this room for activity, or just laying on your beautiful sun pad there, you're not interrupted with the metal bars. From here, guys, I want to show you the Sleipner fin stabilizers. As mentioned, all 3 of these 80-foot Princess models are stabilized with fin stabilizers. And again, the Sleipner fin stabilization that you saw the screen of on this boat, there is the fins sticking out of the X. So they took a lot of things that the 78, the Y78 did very, very well. And if you are a Princess connoisseur, you will realize once upon a time there was an S78 and a Y78, and those were what is also considered a common platform. These 3 boats are considered a common platform, which means they're not identical hulls and not identical layouts, but very, very similar between the 3. And you probably noticed that from the exterior styling of just the hull and the interior layout from kind of the waterline up to below the salon. One thing the 78 did very well was this massive hardtop, and the Y80 is no exception. If we look at this summer galley here, we have 2 cooktops, both electric cooktops there, a sink, a drawer, a refrigerator, trash can, ice maker. And look at the accents. Just, again, don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's everywhere in this booth. Distinction in detail, the curves, the lines. It's not just a solid fiberglass piece. So it really kind of breaks this up and gives it a very, very nice look. Storage there on the outside. They think of everything. I like these accents. You can do a sunroof here, a louvered sunroof if you would like, but I like this black plexi look that kind of creates a mirrored effect. And I don't know how I look on camera, but it definitely makes this feel much larger up here with just giving that reflection. We're at the second helm on the Y80, and up here you have 2 Garmins and a boning display. You have MAN V12 2000s and a bow and stern thruster. So if you want to move this boat side to side, you really don't need a joystick. You would split the sticks, our shoulders would start to turn, and you can counteract that with the bow thruster. Or if it's not as windy, you can just push and hold both the bow and stern thruster over. Really quick, it is kind of a cool thing to point out. Side power is the bow and stern thrusters on all 3 of these boats. They are hydraulic bow and stern thrusters, so not only do you get the proportional force from it, you get the hydraulic force from it. So it's a much stronger and much more usable bow and stern thruster compared to an electric. With side power though, you get the hold function. So if you want, we can increase or decrease to port or starboard our bow and stern thruster thrust and keep us pinned against the dock. If for some reason we were docking this big beautiful boat by ourselves, I would probably tap that over, get us tied to the T-head and leave it at 30% just so we're snugged up against our fenders. Pretty cool. Here on the port side of the boat, we do have our aft docking station. If you remember, unlike the X, the Y lower helm is actually on the starboard side of the boat, and you have that starboard side access door right there at the helm. So use your starboard lower helm for starboard side T docking, or your port side aft helm station for port side T docking. And again, aft docking station, if we are stern into a slip, this is where we would dock from. Again, balance stern thruster controls here. And then conveniently tucked out of the way, nice and flush. We're not bumping into it. We're not sacrificing any of our summer galley area. Beautiful. Again, the theme here, safety, very tall, this metal work here, and very heavy duty. These cleats are tremendous, and the metal bulwark around those. All right, I mentioned it there, but look at the size of this window. Like, that's pretty close to all I can reach, and it's all the way down. Unlike the X that started about here, this is all the way down. So, very well done. Good job, Princess. And that brings in a ton of natural light. If you remember, we have 2 bow lounges on the X, where on the Y, we only have 1. And on the S, we only have 1. Look at all the seating area, 2 separate tables. This is a drop-in storage area that is cooler lined, so you could throw a bag of ice in there if you wanted to. Store some drinks up there. We do have an auxiliary anchor on both of these. We have your main and your auxiliary for both. If you were going to do the med mooring, more than likely you would drop both. So pretty cool that Princess allows you to have those aspirations to go to the med. Cup holders, speakers, really can entertain up here if you wanted to, and why not grab a cocktail? Look at how high up and elevated we are compared to the water, and just the overflow of sunlight up here. It's tremendous. That's why we're on a boat after all. Now, let's go jump on the S, and then I want your opinion on which one of these 3 is best for you. This is where you'll see the biggest differences between the Y, the X, and the S. Notice how we had 2 walkways on both of those previous models, where this is a centerline walkway. And that is because on the S, you actually get a tender garage. This is the sport version, and you gain a tender garage. So the crew quarter and the engine room will look a little different because of the fiberglass that is housing this tender here, and that is designed for a Williams jet tender in there. As I said, on the last 2 boats looked a little different. It is on the starboard side on the prior 2 boats, where it is on the port side in terms of access. So because you lose the storage area that you have on the Y and the X there in the cockpit, Princess has done a fantastic job of giving you storage, especially for sea bobs, right here in the crew quarter. As you probably saw, this is a door to separate that storage area from the crew quarter, and then this is your head there. And then we have an over and under bunk here versus the over under with the captain, separate quarters on that boat. So forward, once again, we have engine room access, and let me show you the difference. This is a special boat. This S80 that we're on was built for a very special person. So the engines are a little bit different, and the hardtop is going to be a noticeable difference when we get there. These are actually, man, 2200s, guys. V12 2200s versus those, which is V12 2000s. We do gain a little bit of speed here, mid-30s for the top end, 26, 27 knots as a cruise here, per my good buddy Captain Scott, who runs the one that I delivered up in the Northeast. Doesn't have the 2200s though. Be curious to see what his thoughts would be on those. Behind you guys, before I exit, I want you guys to see the shape of the bow for your tender garage. We did skip over it on the X and the Y, but you do have the passerelle on that, those 2 models as well. On the S, it comes out right here on the top step and allows you access, again, if you're med mooring, to freely walk on, and then you're right into your cockpit. Once you have made it this far, you have probably already seen most of the differences, and that vast list is very apparent right here. The S, again, sport bridge. We have the sporty layout here, a lot of cockpit space, much more cockpit space than either the X or the Y. We have 2 sun pads facing aft. We have kind of movable seating here, modular furniture is what they're calling that, and then you do have your outdoor dining area here. So again, the free-flowingness from the cockpit to the salon is very apparent in the X and the Y. However, here on the S, it's a little different. We have a pop-up TV here. We have a nice counter space there to port, and then an electrically actuated window here. You do have a latch here that will keep it secured if you're running with this open. So we did walk past this staircase, and we will take those to get to the flybridge. However, here is another massive, massive difference before we get to the galley, the dayhead. I think this might be my favorite location only because of the convenience you have. If you're outside, if you're swimming, if the kids are jumping off the boat, look at how few steps they have to take into the salon before getting access to this wonderful, wonderful dayhead. Another massive difference is, again, this galley. Serving counter here aft to really entertain your guests in the cockpit. And then we have, once again, the Sub-Zero refrigerator. You guys want a water or what? Let us know in the comment section how you guys feel about this very light satin wood. I'm a big fan. It really kind of opens this thing up and makes it feel a little bit more wide open. But you do have a little pantry for your glassware just outside of this dayhead. Bar stools, again, right here at your galley. When we look at this in comparison to the S78, the prior model, we did have two separate staircases, but because they went to a singular staircase, we get a much more vast helm area here. And what a tremendous looking and functioning helm this is. Shout out to Captain Brian that runs this boat. Would love to see his comments on how he performs with the 2200s. Again, my speeds were for the 2000s and the boat that I have delivered. So a little bit different than this. Again, we have the Sleipner display there. We have the boning. So again, this is more like the Y than it is the X that had two boning displays. This has a singular with three separate Garmin displays. We have a FLIR, very nice, and then the bow and stern thruster. So off to the starboard side, once again, we do have the side access door, and if you think about it, while we're leaning out this starboard side, we do have the ability to reach our throttles and shifters. Now, the biggest and best part, if you will, about the S in comparison to the Y, because this looks very similar, is the sunroof. So open this all the way up, you push a button, this will electrically slide back and then change the look and the feel in here, making this much more of an open style boat. We have a drop down window with that door and the sunroof. You can tremendously fill this area full of natural air and light and the cross breeze. Okay, not only do we have one co-captain seat, but we have two additional co-captain seats. The 3 seats here is an option. You can go with just 2 if you wanted to. The one that I delivered had 2. And then you have this navigational area. Been a trend throughout the 3 boats that we've seen. Would love to know your thoughts and who would be sitting there, if anyone. Glass everywhere on these staircases, not on the S. On the S, it is the same spiral staircase, however, no glass accents there. I do very much appreciate the black accent beneath the window there. Very well done. Still have the storage here, just like we have on the last 2. Very similar to the X and the Y, we have our washer and dryer. Although the X had an additional cabinet here, the Y had the vanity, the S has an optional wine cooler. Which would you guys prefer? I think we're gonna learn a lot about you if you choose the wine cooler. Just kidding. We have a hanging locker once again on the port side of the boat, and on the starboard side of the boat, we have the Houdini head. I like that, I'm coining that, the Houdini head. So with the light wood, it is worth pointing out, look at that, it's a little bit more subtle, these drawers. Again, not wasting space, but capitalizing on the use of that light wood. I think it just blends in a little bit better. Let us know what you guys think. Your opinion matters more than mine. Just such a natural look. It looks like something straight from Mother Nature. Thank you. Just the way that this bowl is shaped. I know, we're spending a lot of time talking about the bowl of a sink, but very nice, very well done. Heated towel rack, you've seen that in all 3. And the window behind you guys really lets in a lot of natural light to that head there. Got to point it out because they're here. The window lines on the S80 are no exception to the Y or the X. Lets in a ton of natural light, but it also looks sexy from the exterior styling standpoint. Working our way towards the bow, identical layout as the X and the Y, minus the office. We did not do the office there. These do have the ability to slide, but you can do that where you push a button and these slide. We have ensuite access, like I said. However, this is also day access. So you do have a day head upstairs, but then you have some day access. Full beam, nice wide stateroom here, hanging lockers, and then, like I said, I will show you on this one, you do have the ensuite, and look at the size of this head. We've made you wait here, but you are going to get this in the X and the Y. That nice rainfall shower head, very well appointed head, and your vanity. Once again, we have the vanity in all of your staterooms, and this is a semi-flush mounted TV here in this stateroom with ensuite access. So as you noticed on both the X and the Y, they were molded staircase. Again, this is a S model, so a much larger cockpit. However, these are floating stairs. I kind of prefer this look. It kind of disrupts it a little bit and doesn't make it look so bulky, while still giving you plenty of room for your feet to walk up. Again, because this is an S, this is what's considered a sport bridge. The hardtop is an option on this sport bridge. Don't have to. You can do the electro-hydraulic bimini. If you notice your bridge clearance is shorter here on the S compared to the Y or the X. So that is the one kind of benefit to having that bimini, is keep your profile low, a little bit more sporty, a little bit more sexy, but get you underneath the bridges here in South Florida. Whole lot easier compared to the hardtop. Nice to see that you do have a hardtop here and can do that if you wanted to on the Sport. To gain the tender garage, you gain the larger cockpit, you gain the sunroof. Up to you. We're still very interested to see what your opinions are and read your comments. Pop-up TV. This is a SunBrite TV, so no matter how bright it gets here, you can still watch and enjoy your TV up here. It is also in a massive housing, so it's not going to rock around as you're watching if the wind starts to pick up. Sink, cooktop, refrigerated drawer here. Got some booze. Might be coming back for this one later. And then trash can. Very similar to the last two helms, we have tremendous sight lines of our bow, and we are up elevated to the point where we can see all of our surroundings and be very comfortable while running the boat, whether we are seated or in the standing position. Singular bonding and 2 Garmin displays up here versus 3 on the Y and 4 on the X. Again, bow and stern thruster, and the manned 2200s here, 2000 standard. 2000s is the way most people are probably going to order it. However, it is nice to know that you have the option to do the hardtop and do the larger engines. With the hardtop, because of the drag you're going to receive from this and the added weight that is there, more than likely we're going to recommend that you go with the 2200s. Not that the 2000s are underpowered, but a little bit extra for a little bit extra weight. Never a bad thing. I am a big fan. I've moved quite a few of these boats in this size range, specifically the S78 north and south before, and that's a few day trip. I can assure you I've spent many hours in this aft facing lounge seat. This was very similar to the 78. We have sideboarding access on both port and starboard. Hook up your quick step system, which is actually hooked up here. Then these guys have gone one step further and created a rack system for the quick step. Aft docking station, and you're like, where is it? And there's nowhere to pull out. Haha, not today. Look at this. Very similar to the style that you saw on the flybridge of the X here on the S. So we have full port side view. Again, if you're going to dock on the starboard side, do it from the lower interior helm. If you are docking on the port side, do it from this aft docking station. And if you are starting in, aft docking station makes the most sense. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous. Look at the curvature in this window, in the GRP here with the Allure pack, distinction and detail. It is also worth noting that this is all the way above my hip. Talk about safety and security. This is the sportiest of the 80-foot boats, so they want to make sure you're not sacrificing safety. Very sporty and safe. That's what we'll call the S, sport and safe. Very similar to the Y80, the bow setup here on the S80. We'll go over a few of the similarities. Massive storage on both port and starboard. Very similar seating, bow lounge area, and then drop-in storage. These guys actually have bottle storage racks in there, which is pretty ingenuitive. Again, auxiliary and main anchor up there. Now, you guys have seen all three models from Princess Yachts in the 80-foot class. We went through the X, we went through the Y, and we went through the S. Which one is your favorite, and which one can we help you put your name on? Thank you guys very much for tuning in.